What is up, Great and Gather barbecue people? I am not dead. You guys have probably thought this guy is done. He is not doing any barbecuing anymore. It's been like 2 years since he's gotten a video. You know, life happens. We've moved. Life changes. I don't have any of my big smokers anymore. But why I'm doing this video? This is my first video in a long time because I'm doing like 50 pounds of brisket. I have 3 extremely large briskets that I'm doing for a young adults gathering tomorrow at our church. And I'm burning it off right now. It hadn't been cleaned in a while. So the smokers that are going to be doing this tomorrow is the only one I have left is my Masterbuilt 560. And I can only put one on that because I need the main rack to collect the grease. Terrible grease management, but smoke flavor, you can't beat it. I got out of the pellet world, guys. Pellets are awesome. It's consistent, but once you taste something that comes off this Masterbuilt, you're never going back. I know there's like reviews out there. You got the basement barbecue guys. I'm telling you, you can't touch the flavor that you can get on these Masterbuilts on a pellet grill. Just, you can't. I don't care. Anyways, so I still love the pellet grills, aka why I borrowed this Rectech 340. This is an old school one, and I have a upper shelf for it that's like the portable ones. So what we're gonna do is put one on the main shelf of the Rectech, one on the, if it fits, they're big briskets, but one on the shelf, that's 2, and then the Masterbuilt will get 1. And just using some Sam's pellets for the Rectech. I think it's about to light off. I'm pretty excited about that. And let's see, for the Masterbuilt, I'm going to be using briskets mixed with, I ran out of splits, so it's not going to be as smoky as normal. Normally I put whole actual Texas post oak splits in it. That's why you get so much more smoke flavor, like legit just a solid chunk of wood. And I didn't have any left, so I have a bunch of Texas post oak chunks that I will show you guys before I do it. But anyways, so I will show you guys kind of like maybe the trim afterwards. I'm not going through everything. This could be kind of a short video, and I'll be honest, I have to work tomorrow, so this is going to be a very challenging cook. But the plan is put them in tonight. When I wake up, wrap them and monitor them with my fireboard while I'm about 45 minutes away working all day. And if I have to, I can tell my wife to pull them off or at least shut the smoker down if they hit a certain temperature. So that is the game plan tomorrow, and I'm hoping it works out. So follow me along, and thank you guys for following me. It's like I have like over 500 people. I just appreciate that. I'm sorry that like no content. That's just not good, but hopefully tonight we'll give you guys a little taste of what it's like to continue to barbecue even when you're out of it. You know, you can always get right back into it. So stay tuned. All right, we're at the Masterbuilt. I want to show you exactly how I'm going to layer the chute with the briskets and the post oak. Here is the post oak. Just some B&B, something I can get on Amazon really quick. So basically, my first layer, it's like 1 inch or 2 right below where I need to light it, is going to be your briskets. You can get a good like start. It can at least ignite. And then my goal is to use this whole bag. How many pounds is this? Oh, I don't know. Whatever that is. 5 pounds, 10 pounds. I don't know. Well, my goal is to use this whole bag and put it in. Check it out. All right, I've used half the bag and have gotten it halfway up the chute. So now I'm going to add just a couple more briskets and then add the rest of this wood. This is how you know it's going to be a good night already. So satisfying when you can see it. All right, guys, got this thing all loaded up. Used all of that, 5 pounds if that's what it is. Basically, started off with a little bit of briskets to get it going. You got to get some heat in there before the fire. A bunch of wood, a little bit more brisket, the rest is wood. So we'll see how this goes. I've never actually cooked like this. I typically use actual log splits like this, or typically they're split in half, but these ones weren't. These are almond wood from Naughty Wood Barbecue. They sell actual splits now. It's a mild wood, and I ran out of charcoal, so I literally just threw this in there, started burning. So that's the beautiful thing with this thing, is you can just throw anything you want in here. So I try not to, like I said, dog the pellet grills, because I had them many years. I still like them. They're very convenient, and if you have a pellet grill, they're awesome. You can still make amazing barbecue with them. It's just, for me personally, I like to tinker, and you're not tinkering a whole lot on a PID controller, all that kind of stuff. So this makes me have to work for it. It makes me get a taste of what maybe in a real world, like offset one day, I would love to do that. So this is like an in-between. It's kind of cheating still, but anyways, so that's why we're able to get more smoke flavor out of these things, because pellets just don't match up to actual like splits. This, it may be on par with this. We'll see tomorrow. We're gonna do 2 on the pellet grill, 1 on this. We'll see which one's smokier. I'd be willing to say it's gonna be this one though. So stay tuned. All right, we got them all set up. Fireboard probes are in. A little bit of a change. I had to put 2 on here, which is not something I've ever done. I had to kind of ghetto do it. Still put a pan to catch some fat. But what's interesting is this will not go low. So I got a 16 pounder, and there we go. This is the lowest it's been, because I got that lid cracked. So it's not wanting to hold temperature, which is not like the Rec Tech I'm used to. So I am borrowing this. But for once, charcoal is more consistent than the PID. Don't know what's going on with that. Stay tuned. All right, guys, it is 7 a.m. These smokers ran all night. I figured out what was going on with Rec Tech. I hooked it up to the internet, even though it's not mine, and the feed rate was like 26% for some reason. It's in advanced settings. I just wanted to be able to monitor the temp, but I started playing with the app and took it right away. So Rec Tech's dead on again. But yeah, check out the briskets. All right, let's check out the fireboards. This is the top one up here. We're at like 145. The bottom one's 133. And now we're jumping to this one. I put 2 probes in this because I had no clue what this was going to do last night. This one's closer to the 160 mark. And then the temp probe is no good on my... I have one going to this Masterbuilt, and apparently it's bad because it keeps jumping from 700 to 200. But here's the 17 pounder. Looking good. Looking good. All right, guys, getting ready to pull them in and wrap them up. Not gonna do the process. I got my butcher paper on the oven, 2 pieces of the 18-inch wide, I believe. So what I'm gonna do is just wrap them and then put a dollop, one of the 2, a big glob of Wagyu fat on top to let it just continue to marinate down and hopefully keep it moist during the day. Check it out. All right, guys, I figured I'd keep you updated. So putting my foot in my mouth with the Masterbuilt, unfortunately. There we go. There we go. This is Izzy, for you guys that remember her. 10 years old, she's still kicking. So I got all the way to my job, got my guys going, and the temp started going down. I had my fireboard temp going, and I knew the Masterbuilt at that point probably bridged, which just means the charcoal, which I think is really all that. The way I put that wood in there, I won't do that again. Like I said, I'm used to just putting solid splits in. That's what I'll continue to do. I won't do the whole chunks again. Maybe a few chunks you could get away with, but not like what I did. So I think it created basically like a bridge, and it could not drop. So I came all the way home and then broke it free and it's taken off like a champ now. So the Rec Tech has been running great. It's about to be done, that brisket that was on there. So what I'm going to do is pull it and then take one off the Masterbuilt, because there's two that need to really get cooking. And that way I'll have one on each smoker and we should be good to go. But worst case scenario, having to drive an hour and a half just to save the smoker and save the brisket. Oh well, stay tuned. All right, it is the next morning, and yesterday was just crazy. So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get any photos, any slicing videos, any nothing. I got home, got the other two briskets off. We had to drive 45 minutes to church, and then I sliced 3 full briskets. But here's what I will tell you, that all 3 were good. The Rec Tech one was what I'm used to, good. But then I literally would give someone, it was actually the person I borrowed their smoker. I said, hey, here's some. And I gave her some of like a Rec Tech. And then I said, oh yeah, here's some more. And I gave her a slice from the Masterbuilt. She's like, yeah, that thing's got so much more flavor. So even though I only used the chunks, which by the way, never doing again, doing splits or nothing. It was really good. The Masterbuilt definitely was good. And luckily there was 2 that came off the Masterbuilt. So we just mixed it all in, and all these young adults didn't even know. But what I will tell you, I don't have pictures, obviously, of this finished brisket, but I will drop a screenshot of our GroupMe that has, you know, we had probably 120 to 50, 120, we'll say, young adult people, and there were a gazillion different dishes. It was kind of like a bring your own. We had a bunch of different types of meats, and everything was good. I know all the guys who smoked all the other stuff, everything was great, but one young adult out of nowhere, while we're all eating, drops in there, whoever made this brisket is an MVP. And then someone else, like, you know, basically it's like, yeah, dude, they're awesome. But shows it's pretty good. So I'm sorry that I really expected to get like all the slicing and all that kind of stuff. But if you guys have barbecued, the end is always the craziest. And so I don't do production stuff anymore. I'm not setting up tripods. I'm not doing all that stuff. So I do have a Wagyu brisket from Snake River Farms, a gold one. I'm going to cook for Christmas. So I might do a little bit more production for that one, but I'll at least make a video for you guys, and I'll be able to show the end product. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the channel. And you know, it's early, it's beautiful. You know, we got the sunrise happening, and yeah, so keep out there, keep smoking. You know, if you got a pellet grill, if you got a charcoal grill, if you got a propane grill, there's so many ways to make sure you can make some good barbecue. And we got Thanksgiving coming up. That's the whole point of this channel, was, you know, from the great of the barbecue to the gathering of people. You know, barbecue does bring people together, and I love seeing just big gatherings of people. We should be eating more together, hanging out together. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll try to do another video in a couple weeks. I mean, I'm going on like a tear now, man. A couple videos, you know, I haven't done any in 2 years, so I'm gonna try and make a couple, you know, here and there. So thanks, guys.